Happy Thursday, everybody. My name is Adrienne. I also go by Andy. Bringing a power hour workout to you today. We'll get going in just a sec here, but I'm just going to cover some of the general need-to-know information first. One big thing, I'm going to be on screen here, but monitoring comments and answering any questions that you might have is going to be Miles. He is another fitness instructor with me at CFB Edmonton, and we're going to be teaming up to bring you this workout today. So I'll be running things over here. If you have questions, you have concerns, you have comments, put them in the discussion below, comments below, and Miles will be able to help you out with those. Along with that, he's also going to put up some information about our general disclaimer. So in response to COVID-19, PSP is offering virtual fitness classes to Canadian Armed Forces members. By using social media platforms, the virtual fitness classes that are tailored to Canadian Armed Forces members become accessible to all. Participants who are not Canadian Armed Forces members recognize and acknowledge that their age, health status, and physical fitness levels are unknown, and it is entirely up to each individual to assess their ability to participate in this class. Since it is preferable to consult your physician prior to beginning any exercise program, we invite all participants who are not Canadian Armed Forces members to consult the Get Active questionnaire from the Canadian Society of Exercise Physiology and its reference document. Both of those are going to be posted in the comments below, links to them if you need. If you experience any pain or difficulty during exercises presented in this video, please stop and consult a healthcare provider. It is recommended that you do so. If a CAF member sustains an injury during this video, please just remember to fill out a CF98. Like I said, my name's Adrienne. I also go by Andy. I'm one of the fitness instructors here at, well, not here at CFB Edmonton, but at CFB Edmonton. And Miles as well is another fitness instructor who's going to be helping out behind the scenes today. I have one more bonus assistant, partially here for entertainment, partially here to keep me on my toes, and general comic relief. This is my cat Neville. I'm sure he'll be in and out a lot through today's class, just to keep things exciting. If you have your own music, sweet jams that you want to put on, get them going, get them set up. I'm not going to be having any music in the background here. That's going to help make sure that you can hear me loud and clear the whole time as we're going through this workout. And make sure you have water nearby. Aside from that, you really don't need any equipment. I will use a mat for some of the exercises, but for the most part, I'm just going to be using the floor space here. So that should all go pretty well. Yeah, if you want a mat, definitely grab one, get your water bottle, take breaks however often you need, modify exercises if you need to, and hydrate. Lots of important good stuff there. If this isn't your jam, I'll remind you again at the end, but I believe at 1600 hours, let me check here, yes. The next class that we'll be offering through live streaming is going to be at 1600 hours with Scott, doing a high intensity interval training class, so be sure to check that one out. If you're feeling like double, or if you've just joined and you're like, oh, I don't have time right now, no worries. We got you. It's also going to stay on our story for 24 hours, and then both of the workouts will get posted to YouTube as well, so lots of opportunity to get in on these. And yeah, okay, on to a little bit more about this workout in particular. Today is Power Hour, or this hour is Power Hour, and power is a combination of strength and speed, pretty well demonstrated by my cat running around in the background, although he might not be the most strong, but he's definitely going for max speed, max effort on some of these little sprints here. So today, what we're going to do, because we're not going to go with a lot of weights, it's all going to be body weight, we're going to come to a couple of familiar strength exercises. If they are not already familiar, they will be shortly. And then we're going to add a little bit of intensity to them, make them a bit more dynamic, and add speed to get that strength and speed combination working up towards power in those body weight drills. We're going to start with a little bit of a warm-up. So just grab a little bit of space. We're going to start with a jog on the spot. Timer's just to help me out here. We're going to do about 20 seconds of each exercise in the warm-up and go through them twice. So starting with that jog. Next up, we're going to switch to jumping jacks. Go ahead and switch that up. Next one, we're going to slow things down a little bit. Just drawing a knee in towards the chest. Give it a little squeeze towards you and drop it back down. Knee in towards the chest and drop it down. Back stays up nice and tall the whole time. Not hanging out in a stretch there for super long as we are just warming up, keeping things dynamic. Next up, butt kicks, fairly familiar. Heels up towards the glutes. Feel free to run it or to step it. We're just getting going, so maybe you can amp it up in the second round if you're walking it for now. Next up, inchworm out to a push-up. So you're going to walk your hands out to a high plank. Shoulder stack over wrists. Drop to the knees if you need. Perform one push-up. Walk those hands back in. Cool. Again, walking out to our plank. Drop the knees if you need. Push up. And back. Cool. Bring that back on up to stand, transitioning to lunges, just straight forward, alternating sides. Keeping that chest up nice and tall, driving through the heel to come back up. Look out for your pets. And side lunges next up here. So coming out to the side, knee and toe bending in the same direction, pointing in the same direction rather. Just alternating side to side. Keeping that chest up nice and tall. One more each side. Fantastic. Next up, we're coming back to a jog. 20 seconds back here. Second round through. Should be starting to get a little bit warmed up. If you aren't now, you will be after the next few exercises. Jumping jacks next. Here we go. Switching that up. Feel free to step these ones. Next up, we're drawing those knees back up towards the chest. Give it a little bit of a squeeze towards you. And then switching up to butt kicks. Heels coming back up towards the glutes. Run it or walk it. If you don't pay attention to my surroundings, almost looks like I'm running outdoors. This is pretty nice. All right, relax that for a sec. Next one, inchworm out to your push-up. Walking those hands out. High plank. Push up. And back we go. Core stays tight the whole time. Shoulder stack over those wrists for your push-up. Wonderful. Bring it on up. Didn't do these last time around, so we're going to jump into some squats. Just body weight, of course. Feet a little wider than hip distance. Just staying up nice and tall. Surprise bonus exercise. Next up, lunges. Stepping forward into these once more. Keeping that chest up nice and high. Back knee can come down as far as feels okay. Maybe it's a half depth or to a hover, but I'll leave that discretion up to you. Last one here. And then switching up to our side lunges. Go ahead and step it out. Alternating sides. Let's get one more per side. And then because I skipped them in round one, we're coming back to our squats. Chest stays up nice and high. Starting to get that blood flowing a little bit. It is morning. Maybe we're still waking up. Last one. Excellent. Grab a sip of water if you need it. Next part of our warm-up. We'll come in a sec, I guess. I'm going to jump into a quick bit of dynamic mobility first. Just bringing it into some arm swings in and out across the chest. Got some hopping exercises coming up, but I want to get these dynamic movements in first. One arm up, one arm down. Look out for your ceiling if they're a little low like mine. Wonderful. Let's bring it into a heel sweep. So one heel is going to pop out in front. We're sweeping down towards the foot, just getting some sensation through the back of the leg. Hamstring, calf. About 3 per side. One more on each here. Excellent. After that, go ahead and pop back to your lunge. These ones should be getting real familiar by now. I know a lot of us really like them. Hands to the inside of that foot. Same arm as your front foot is coming up and reaching down. Let's go for about 3. Just holding for a second-ish at the top and at the bottom. And switching that up once you are done. Same hand as the front foot reaches up and comes down. One more. Wonderful. Find your way back up. Next bit of our warm-up here, like I said, getting a little bit more active, a little bit more intensity into some hops. We're going to start with 2-foot hops, jumping forward and back. If that doesn't feel good, feel free to step it instead. But if the body allows, let's go for some hops here. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1, and just 2 feet forward and back. Kind of hard to see if I'm facing you, so should look something like this. Just staying nice and light. Next one, side to side, still 2-foot hops. Just a little one, side to side here. Keeping it light, keeping those landings quiet. Goodness gracious. Next one, single foot, just one leg forward and back. Whatever pace you would like for these. Just got a couple more. And then we're going to switch feet. All right. Woo. Technical difficulties, pardon me. Okay. Second foot, forward and back hops. Here we go. Let's bring it back to that first foot. Lateral hops, side to side. Right foot, here we go. This is what happens exercising in a small space with pets. Second foot, here we go, switch it up. Lateral hop, side to side. Again, keep them small. Absorb that landing. And rest. Cool, take that easy. Grab a sip of water if you need it. If there's anything else you need to do mobility-wise, take a sec, do what you need to do. Got about a minute here, and then we're going to come into our first round of strength exercises, bodyweight strength exercises, moving towards those more dynamic, faster, higher intensity ones. I'm just going to double check that my camera is back in a good position. I think it is, but hard to tell from this side. Oh yeah, we're good to go. Beautiful. All right, so exercise number 1. If you did my workout last week, these are going to be familiar. A couple steps of these are actually, so hopefully you already know these pretty well, and if not, listen close, pay attention, we got these. We're going to bring it into some reverse lunges. These ones we're stepping back into your lunge, driving back up, 2-step feet together. Chest is going to stay high the whole time as we're going. We're just going to go for 8 of these. 8 per leg, just continuing with our warm-up. So we'll go ahead and get onto those 8 per side. I want you to think about pressing through your heel as you're coming up to stand. Stepping back far enough so that front knee stays right over top of the ankle. About halfway. you're going at your own pace, no stress. We'll catch up. 2 more per side. Excellent. All right, so next step with that is going to be just focusing on one leg at a time. We're going to bring it down to 6 reps, and we're going to step back with the right leg, still for a reverse lunge. But as you're coming back up to stand, we're going to drive that knee up towards the chest. So you'll be stepping back to lunge, up, and drive the knee. 6 on that side, and we'll do 6 on the left. So let's go ahead and give those a run here. Right foot, step it back, drive that knee up 6 times. You can think a little bit about keeping that spine up nice and tall. Arms using for balance here. I think there's one more. Same thing on our opposite side. Of course, we got to even things out. Step it back, drive that knee up 6 times. Cool. Next round, we're going to do the exact same thing. Option to add a hop this time around. Any of these, if they're not feeling good, go back to the previous exercise. Whatever last one felt really good in our little section. It's a good way to kind of base it intensity-wise. For today, because power takes a little bit more work, uses a little bit more of a physical capacity, we will be taking longer breaks just to help the muscles recover a little bit more between each set. All right, next one, we're adding that hop. So 6 on the right foot, here we go, step it back, drive that knee up, little hop. Watch your ceiling, 6 times. Think about that quick drive up, quick switch with the arms, almost like you're starting a sprint. And same thing second side, here we go. Step it back, drive it up, little hop. 6 reps. Fab. Cool. Next one. Only 4 reps. We're gonna go 4 in total this time, not 4 per side. Just, you know, to confuse you, make it harder. But going for a little bit more power, a little bit more speed as we're gonna transition to jump lunges. So quick switch of the legs, whichever one is forward, in between each lunge. So ideally with this one, we'll actually start in more of a lunge stance. Chest stays up tall. We're gonna bring it down, quick pop up, and switch to catch on the other side. My challenge for you is going to be keep your landings quiet and see if you can take off of both feet at the same time and land with both feet at the same time so that we kind of come out of that stepping in and out phase. So whenever you're ready, give her a go. 4 jump lunges total, 2 per side. Short and sweet. We're going to do that again. So take a sec. Notice how that felt. If your stance is wide enough, if the balance is feeling okay, and what your arm preference is. Few options there. All right, let's go for that one more time. Just 4 reps, nothing crazy. Here we go. Step it back and into that lunge position. All right, hopefully that felt a little bit better. We're just going to do one last round of those in a moment. Keep those switches nice and quick as we're going here. All right, let's go for it. 4 jump lunges at your pace. Here we go. Cool. Grab a sip of water if you need it. We're going to be on to our next exercise. The second one, I said initially that I'd probably only use my mat for 1. I'm going to use my mat for 2, but just to protect my knees a little bit, I will be going through some push-ups and push-up variations. Some of them I will choose to kneel. You can go from your toes or from your knees, whatever suits you right now. starting things off, we're gonna go 8 reps again, starting with 8 standard push-ups. Hands are gonna stack into the shoulders, core is drawn up tight so that we keep head, hips, and knees or heels, or ankles, however you wanna kind of think about it, either here or here, all in one straight line, okay? Don't wanna have the hips way high up in the air. Also, don't wanna let them sink low. So, firmly pressing yourself away from the mat. Let's go for 8 push-ups from the toes or from the knees. Your choice. Cool. Take a little bit of a breather. We're going to start to add some speed in the next round. Make these more dynamic, a little bit more intense. When you are pressing up, I want you to press up with purpose, with gusto. A really big push off the ground, and at the top, if it is available, we're going to add a single shoulder tap. We'll alternate sides, so one side won't get left out, won't feel too sad and lonely, but you're going to come down into your press, push up, tap, and immediately into that next lowering phase. Press up, tap, immediately down to lower again. So quick demo from the mat here. We're coming down, up to tap, down, up to tap. Okay, shoulders and hips, we want to keep them square to the mat. They're going to want to open up to the side, so it's a little bit easier to hang out there, more stable feeling, less work. We don't want less work. We're here for more power. We got to work hard for that. So keeping that shoulders and hips nice and square. We're going to go for 6 in total, 3 per side. Here we go. Push up, quick tap. Push up, quick tap. Nice work. Keep that going. 2 more. Cool. Hopefully you felt like you were increasing a little bit of power, a little bit of speed on the way up. We are going to go for 1 more round of those just to really reinforce where we're keeping stable, where we're working through the shoulders, through the arms, and really, really important before we move to kind of our level 3, our more power, higher intensity phase, is how to properly absorb and catch yourself when you're coming back down out of that shoulder tap. Some of us might be able to do single arm push-ups. That's really cool, very impressive. However, not the goal for today. And if you're like me and you can't do a single arm push-up, we're gonna need to bring that other arm back down into our next push-up safely in a way that's gonna be kind to our shoulder and protect it through the rest of our workout, so we can keep doing this excellent online live stream classwork and get back to normal PT as soon as we can in the gyms. So, as you're coming back down, focus on that bend to the elbow right away, slow lower. Press up, tap, bend to the elbow right away, controlled lower, okay? Another set of 6, whenever you're ready here, let's do it. All right, so we've got 1 more level for these push-ups. You can hang out with the 6 shoulder taps, or we'll drop those reps down to 4, and we're gonna add a little bit of a hop. This is gonna be a hop with both hands. We're not doing clap push-ups today, just for safety reasons. Again, that's something that people may choose to do. In the workouts for today, we're just gonna work on finding that explosive power with the arms as we press back up. Maybe it gives us a little bit of air time. That's pretty cool. And then controlling that landing as we're on our way back down. Okay, you can go from the knees. If this still, it really isn't feeling good for you, and that shoulder tap still not too sure about it, go back to normal push-ups, or maybe use a couch so that you're working at a little bit more of an angle. You can still 100% complete the shoulder tap push-ups and work on that explosiveness up at a higher angle like that. No problems. So 4 reps from your knees or from your toes, adding a hop. Keep that core fired up. Do not land with your arms out straight. All right, here we go. 4 times. Cool. Excellent, we did our 4. We're gonna go through those 1 more time, 1 more little set. Something to keep in mind, like I said, landing coming right into that elbow bend. Here's kind of a reason why. I'm a good example of it, so hopefully it helps to clarify things why we may not want to. Elbows bend like this. This is great. If you have hyperextended elbows like I do and they go a little bit past straight, that's going to be really hard on the elbow to land there and put a lot of pressure in the joint in a way that that joint is not built for, not structured for. We don't land on straight locked arms all the time. We shouldn't be. So coming through another set of those, being really mindful of that slow, controlled, easy bend, descent back down to your mat safely is really what I'm going for here. So for push-ups, add that hop. Here we go. Thanks. Really hoping those are feeling good for you. And like I said, this video is always going to be up, so if you want to come back to some of these exercises later, bang out a couple more sets, why not? It'll be around. Otherwise, for right now, we're going to move on, come back to our lower body into some squats, because we love those. Move my mat out of the way for now. So, squats. First round, 8 body weight squats. I'm not going to describe these all the way. We did them in our warm-up, so go for it. 8 body weight squats. Great. All right. Next up, that's nice and easy, hey? We're going to come back to some more dynamic, more powerful work here. So let's bring it up to a jump squat. We're going to add that little hop at the top of each of your squats. And again, finding that slow, controlled landing. This time we're absorbing by landing lightly on the feet, absorbing through the knees, bending at the hips. Chest always stays high, knees and toes always pointing in the same direction so that it's safe for our joints. We don't want to be landing in like this or out like this. Hurts my mind just thinking about it. So knees and toes, same direction, please. Other thing to keep in mind for today, I would like you to put some emphasis on keeping your heels down. So when you come down into that squat, just go as far as you can comfortably, keeping that nice neutral spine and your heels pressing down so that we're not landing on our toes and having our knees like go way out in front. It's not fun for anybody. So 6 jump squats. Here we go. Just a little bit of a hop. Again, watch your ceiling. If you're doing this outside, I would love to hear about it. If you want to comment below and say, this is so much better with like open sky. I'm jumping basically like 2 kilometers every time at the top of my squats. Very impressive again. Well done. But otherwise, if you're stuck inside like me, we'll keep our jumps small, you know, just to make people feel good. Here we go. We're gonna go another 6 rep round. Again, chest stays tall, neutral spine. Here we go. 6 reps. Cool. Hoping you landed those last ones like me with that bend to the knees. Again, no landing locked out straight. My knees don't demo near as well as my elbows do as far as landing on those joints harder than we want to, and in a way that's going to be, well, not so helpful for the joint health, but you get the gist. Okay, you can stick with your jump squats, or we can continue to ramp this up and bring it into a tuck jump. So, probably not going to do a full depth squat at the bottom of all of these, but we're still going to come down so that we have some momentum, some power to come back up. If you would prefer, a lower intensity version of this exercise would just be to jump straight up from a low squat position. So you're going to come down, hold for a sec, jump straight up, land soft. Come down, hold for a sec, jump straight up, land in your squat. If you're doing a tuck jump, knees are going to drive in towards the chest, only as high as you feel comfortable. I cannot stress this enough. Safety is paramount as we do these. So if you know your balance isn't great, then you're a little bit worried about this next one, just go for the straight up jump. It's still going to power up the legs in the same way. All right, so 4 reps for this one. Quick demo of those tuck jumps. If you haven't seen them before and you still have no idea what I'm talking about, sorry, almost forgot about the demo. I'm too excited. Drive those knees up towards the chest. Soft landing, okay? 4 times. Here we go. When you're done those 4, take a sec, take a breather. Of course, water is there if you need it. We're gonna come back to that one again. Second round of our higher intensity level. Come back to your straight up jumps, jump squats, or just your body weight squats if you need a change of pace. And you'll notice with mine, I'm sweeping those arms up with me just to help with my momentum, help with that upward movement. I don't want to help myself out too much because I have this. That's not great. That's very solid. No way am I risking injuring myself on a live stream video. That would be horrible. So still working on that powered up, but may not go my full 100%. Gauge for yourselves what intensity you really want to go for with these workouts. All right, here we go. Another set of 4 whenever you're ready. Excellent. Again, sip of water if you need it. And then we're gonna move along here. This next one is gonna be a bit on the quicker side. It's only got 2 different exercises, 2 different intensity levels for today. We're gonna go into our side lunges again. So these ones we're gonna start with 8 per side, just body weight, like we did in our warm-up. This is just going to be to dial in our form, remind the body of what we're doing before we make a similar movement, more dynamic, more powerful. Not great to just jump straight into something 100% intensity if we're not properly set for it. All right, so stepping out to the side, 8 per side, whenever you're ready. We'll get into these. Coming out, pressing back into center. If you don't have room to do a full step out side to side, I would encourage you to keep a wide stance and just add that bend, press back up. If you're wanting a little bit more here, add that bend. You can still come back up together, then you have to reset. So it's a little bit more awkward. I'll leave it to you however you want to adjust these. Whenever you finish your 8 per side, take a sec, hang out, and I'll describe and demo these next variation, we'll say. So this is not exactly a side lunge. However, we are going to be moving laterally. We are going to add a little bit more intensity here and make it more of a lateral leap or a lateral bound, okay? Because we're just getting into these, I would not recommend that you go as far as humanly possible in each lateral bound. What I want to emphasize is the control on your landing. Knee and toe still want to point in the same direction. We still want to land quietly, as we'll be hopping from one leg to the other. It's a lot less stable, it's a lot more work than landing with both legs in a squat like we were just practicing. So for these, you're going to start over on one leg. You're hopping to the other foot, quiet, controlled landing, and then back across. So we're going to go 4 in total, 2 per side. We'll go for 3 rounds of these just so we get a little bit more practice with them, making them as grand or as confined as feels okay for your level today. Finding a spot that's challenging, but not like, oh my gosh, Andy, why are you making me do this? All right, here we go, 4 per side. Little hop, control that landing. Just 4, okay? Shouldn't be crazy, shouldn't be super long. I would encourage you to keep that chest up nice and high, keeping our neutral spine as you move through these lateral bounds. Give you a little bit of a different angle, more of a thorough demo, if you will, for the next round here. Same thing, 4 in total, whenever you are ready. Hopping over. Gotta look out for my wall. We have 1 more round of those. Hopefully that's feeling okay so far. Again, any pain, any discomfort, don't do it. Pick an exercise we did earlier that didn't cause you pain or discomfort, and consult those documents that we have posted in the comments. All right, last round for these. Whenever you're ready, 4 reps of our lateral bounds. Here we go. Whew. Last round is a little sketchy on my part, a little more wobbly. Something I need to practice, but makes sense as well. As our legs get a little bit more fatigued, they're gonna have a harder time controlling as intensely, as fully as if we were starting this fresh out of a warm-up. All right, so those are kind of some of our main body powerful movements today, or powerful body weight exercises. Next up, we're going to come into a little bit of core. Core is super important. It's going to help support everything else that we're doing. And if we're not holding our core while we're doing our powerful movements, nothing's really going to go like we want to, like we might plan. So, level 1 for these, we're going to get into some leg raises. Nothing crazy here. Grab a mat if you need it. Sip of water first, of course, while I demo and explain. And we're going to bring our back onto the mat. I want you to think about if you had a hand behind your back, don't like leave them there, but if you had a hand behind your back, you'd want to press down and kind of smush it into the floor. That is the core engagement I want you to feel. Belly button kind of like pulls in so that you press your back solid into the floor, and then hands can rest just under the glutes or out to the sides. Okay? For your leg raises, I'm going to recommend that you keep the legs straight if you can, but if you need to, bend them. Okay, maybe coming down just to tap the toes, or don't go so low. Nothing says that you have to like bring the heels within an inch of the earth every single time you do these. So maybe we go to a 45-degree angle. Okay, a few different options for you. We're going to go for 8. Fire up that core, press the back into your mat, hands coming out to either side. Here we go. Controlled lower. And bring that back up. 8 reps. Exhaling as you lower. Inhale to bring those legs back up. Should have about 3 more. Any low back discomfort, modify. And I lost my count, so I'm going to do 1 more just because. Remind my core how I want it to be firing today. And we're going to move on to exercise number 2, which is going to be a tuck. For these, hands can stay on the mat. That is totally an option. Otherwise, arms can come out to the sides to help you balance a little bit. If you're yogi like I am, maybe boat pose is going to be the cue that kind of gets you into the proper form here. What I want you to think about is drawing knees in towards the chest, and then we're going to extend to a hollow body position. Last time I was on here, I think we did some hollow body rocks, so we're turning back to that shape, keeping ourselves kind of like rounded banana shape-esque just off your mat. Okay, so hands by your sides, or arms up beside the legs, extending to that hollow body, driving knees back in towards the chest. 6 reps. Here we go. 6 times. Extend it out, draw it in. These don't feel good, feel free to come back to another set of leg raises. And once you're done your 6, take a sec, hang out. We're going to do 1 more round of those and then move into level 3 and a little bit higher intensity still. Always good to keep yourselves hydrated. Keep grabbing water as you need to. However, with these core exercises, don't gulp it. Small sips are probably going to help you out a little bit more. Keep you feeling a bit more comfortable here. Alright, next set of 6. Here we go. Think about keeping that chest tall throughout. 6 reps. Cool, cool, cool. Next up, level 3. Up this intensity, more power, let's go. We are going to combine that leg raise from the start with the kind of sit-up part of our tuck coming back up from that hollow body position. So at the same time, legs are coming up, upper body is coming up towards the legs. You're going to make a little bit of a V shape. I won't dock you points if it doesn't look exactly like a perfect written V, but that's all good. Again, knees can bend a little bit if you need. Coming back to more of a tuck. Okay, arms for this one, again, I'll leave it up to you. They can stay on the mat. My personal preference is when I come up, I'm reaching up towards my shin, but keeping that shoulder blade squeeze back and behind so that my spine stays tall. I don't want to be sitting up to immediately round my back. Please don't do that. All right, just 4. That's it. Easy, easy peas. Come on down and let's go for it. 4 V snaps. Excellent. A little bit of a rest. We're going to do those ones again because I love them and they're great. And hopefully you can feel a little bit more of that speed of production, that kind of powerful snap back together. This isn't like your classic plyometric jumping exercise, but I think it's still really important to help support a lot of the other exercises that we're doing to help maintain that control, to maintain that stability. And we'll get into a little bit more of that as we get into like our cool down bonus core exercises. If you've done PT with me in person, you know I love my bonus core at the end of class, or bonus whatever the exercises may be. Today it's core. So we gotta get it in. Gotta do it. Let's go for another set of those 4 V snaps. Let's go for it. Cool. Take a sec. Grab that water if you need to. If you want to get in a 3rd set of your V snaps, you are more than welcome to do so. Otherwise, catch your breath. Enjoy the rest. Like I said, lots of rest today compared to cardio intervals or something like that. So if you are like, come on, let's get to the next exercise, let's do the thing. The reason I'm giving you all this rest is because we want the muscles to recover a little bit more between each set so that we can give them a little bit more intensity as we get into our higher intensity exercises. Really go for it, okay? If you're wanting that like, let's go, let's go, let's go all the way, all the time, come back at 1600 hours mountain time with Scott for that high intensity interval class. So that'll get you going, promise. All right, let's bring it into some really like slow things compared to what we've been working on here. First up, we're gonna come into a side plank. We're gonna hang out there for about 30 seconds, okay? You can go from your hand, from your elbow, I'll leave that up to you. You can go from the knees. You can bring the legs staggered, or you can stack them. Again, I'll leave it up to you. So go ahead and get set on your first side. We'll start that up in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and bring that up. While we are side planking, things I want you to think about. Of course, core is fired. Also squeeze your glutes, press your hips forward a little bit. A lot of the time, our butts like to hang out back here. So press them forward. Keep that strong, keep that engaged. And if you're like, this is not enough for me, I need more, fine, starfish. Enjoy. Holding that nice and steady. Got about 3 seconds left. 2 and 1. Come on down to your mat. Second side. Same jazz, 30 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Press that up, hips high. Glutes engaged, hips pressed forward. Keep that top shoulder nice and open so it's stacked over the other one. And of course that starfish option is there. Make sure your hips don't drop when you do it. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Come on down. All right, next up, coming onto your back, we're gonna bring it into some dead bugs. I want you to find that same core activation that we did earlier. Driving core in towards the mat, pressing your back firm down. You're gonna bring arms and legs up like you're reaching towards the ceiling and sitting in an invisible chair. Opposite arm and leg, opposite, 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 not the same, are going to extend out to hover and come back up through center. Other side, extending out to that hover, come back up to center. Keep that going, and similar to your leg raises, if going to a full hover really close to the ground is not working for you, don't go so low. Keep that heel up a little bit higher. Let's do, we got about another 10 seconds here, so we're gonna go 1 more per side. Excellent. Relax that on down. Flip it over to your hands and knees. We're gonna do the exact opposite of these. in a bird dog. Second round through, I'll give you an option if you want to intensify that a little bit more. So, hands and knees, keep stacked, shoulders square, hips square, like when we did our push-ups. Opposite arm and leg are extending out and coming back down to the mat. Think about driving that thumb up towards the ceiling. Heel kicks towards the back wall, avoiding a large arch through the low back. Go ahead and get one more in per side. And then we're going to bring it back to our side plank. If you need that quick sip of water first, please grab it. And then get ready for your first side. 30 seconds once more. Lots of options, lots of ways to adjust this. Do what you need to do. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Come on up. A little bit slower here. If the heart rate was getting up there a little bit more as we got into some of those more intense exercises, we can now allow it to start to slow down. Keeping that up for 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Come on back to your mat and get set for that second side. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Press that up. Get stacked, get set. Feel how strong and solid you are in this posture, this position. And as per usual, when we're doing a lot of core exercises, holding a lot in and around our trunk area, please make sure you're breathing. Full breaths. We like to hold it a lot here. 3, 2, 1. Come on down. Onto your back. We're coming into those dead bugs. Arms and legs are coming up. Back presses into your mat. Feel the shoulder blades press down, but also core is tight, pressing that low back into your mat as well. Here we go. Extend it out, opposite arm and leg. Bring it back in through center. If you're flying through these, going real fast, slow them down. You get way more out of an exercise like this if we go slow. It really allows us to establish that control. Let's get one more per side. And when you've evened out side to side, go ahead, relax that back to your mat. Flip it on over to the hands and knees again for bird dogs, or I'm going to go for my stomach this time. A little bit more of a cross-body Superman action. You're probably like, Andy, what the heck are you talking about? Don't worry, I'll explain it, I promise. So, from our stomachs, arms and legs are going to extend out. You can keep the head just at hover, or you can rest it on your mat. I'll kind of leave that up to you. But what I want you to think about, shoulder blades stay down. We're going to do an opposite arm and leg lift here. So right arm, left leg, coming out, or if in your bird dog, extending, coming back to the mat. Opposite side, left arm, right leg. Keeping your hips pressing into the mat as you do these. And just continue to alternate sides. Feeling where that's waking up some muscles through the back. Maybe a little bit of active range of motion, working the shoulders. And let's just get one more per side here. Relax out of that for a sec. Go ahead and brush yourselves back up, grab a sip of water if you need it, and then we will just stretch it out for the last few minutes here. I think, yes. Like I mentioned at the start of our class today, if you have questions, comments, toss them in the comments below, and Miles there will be around to answer any questions you have. We'll also hang out in the comments for 15 minutes after the video is over, so if you have any other immediate questions, we'll both be around. And yeah, this video will stay up for 24 hours on our story, and then that YouTube link will be up and shared as well. We've always got lots of classes coming at you. Super happy to be active like this and still moving lots and working with you guys and supporting however we can in this interesting time. So take advantage of it. Do the classes. Why not? They're there for you, right? Share them with your friends. If they're not getting in on them, tell them what's up. They're missing out. And we're just going to bring this up to stand for now. My little PSAs are over for the moment. Bring it just to a nice, wide, comfortable stance, reaching up and over towards the side wall with an arm here, stretching through the side of the body. After those side planks, just creating a little bit of space there. If your other hand is on the leg, you can rest there. Just keep it on the lighter side, not fully supporting your entire upper body weight. And go ahead and switch sides. So like I said, high intensity interval class this afternoon at 4 o'clock, I believe. And then if you're tuning in at the same time next Thursday, 11 a.m., I'm pretty excited. Got myself a flexibility fusion class. Super jazzed to bring that to you. I'll probably do a little bit of a yoga-ish class. Probably one of my favorite things to do, although like I love fitness. I'm quite happy to do any and all of the classes, but definitely bring it in for next week. You'll just need a yoga mat for that one, but we'll remind you when it gets a bit closer too. Grab a wall if you need for a bit of balance. Heel comes up towards the glutes, grabbing onto that ankle. Drop the knee down in line with the hip, finding a bit of a stretch through the quad here. From our various lunges today, various squats, good to give those quadriceps a bit of love, a little bit of attention now. And relaxing that side down. Go ahead and switch over to your second side. Same thing here. Heel comes up towards the glutes. Grab that foot or ankle. Drop it down. Challenge your balance a bit. Fantastic. Step those feet out back to our nice wide stance here, reaching down towards one side, doesn't matter which, we'll get them both. Down towards the shin, ankle, foot, wherever you happen to be able to reach. Just finding a little bit of space through the back of the leg. Being upside down does not feel great for you right now. Feel free to do this one seated, of course. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and walk those hands to the opposite leg, other side, whatever that may be. Same thing here, just settling into a little bit of a hamstring and calf stretch. And then one more here, we'll walk the hands in towards the center. You can hang out there, or if you just want to like dead hang, you can grab for opposite elbows. Let the body melt forward here. Maybe give the head a little bit of a shake yes or no to help let some of the tension out of the back of the neck, back of the shoulders. And then you can walk those feet back in, bring it down into a lunge. We'll get into our hip flexors next. So step that one foot forward, tuck the tailbone under as we press the hips forward and down. Pad the knees if you need for something like this. If you're still needing a little more, that back arm is going to reach up and over slightly, opening up through the front of your left hip in that hip flexor area. If you don't feel it, think more about that tailbone tuck. Little bit of a press forward with the hips, adding that extension. If you still don't feel it, play around with it, get creative here. Try some different small adjustments with your hip tilt. See if that helps you out a little more. Fantastic. We'll go ahead and switch sides. Again, tailbone tucks, hips press forward. This time, if whatever leg is back, same arm is going to reach up and over, finding that little bit of extension in the front of the body, side of the body. Keeping strong still through the core, not allowing our back to totally arch and melt into this one. You can actually get more of a hip flexor stretch staying up tall here than really sinking into it and letting that low back arch out more than we'd like to. Excellent stuff. You can bring it on down to your mat. I'd really like to get into the chest, into the shoulders a bit after some of those jumping push-ups or tapping push-ups. We're just going to open up a bit of the chest itself. So, right arm straight out from your shoulder, 90-degree elbow bend, fingertips reach towards the wall here. I want to keep that elbow in line with the shoulder as we start to roll towards it. Maybe it's a little bit of a reach, a little bit of a roll. Maybe it's a lot. Listen when your shoulder says, this is enough, we need to stay here. As long as you can feel a bit of stretch through the front of the body, we're all right. No pain. Excellent, you're good to go ahead and switch sides here. The left arm coming straight out from the shoulder. 90-degree elbow bend. Again, double check that your elbow's in line with the shoulder. I find it often shifts as we're getting set up for this one. And then your opposite leg, you can start to reach up and over, rolling into that chest stretch, opening things up. Alright, relaxing out of that one. Heart rate should definitely be slowing down by now. We're going to bring both hands under the shoulders or elbows under the shoulders, pardon me, I'll leave that up to you. Pressing up into a little bit of a cobra or leaving the elbows down. Just continuing that opening through the front of the body. If we had these muscles really fired up for some of these more intense exercises today, really going for it on those 6 reps or those 4 rep rounds, then good to give the muscles a nice stretch out afterwards, help a bit with the recovery, and just making sure that we maintain our range of motion so that we can keep doing these exercises. Relax that down, press the hips up and back, and we're just going to let the back round kind of naturally here into a child's pose. This is just a nice counter stretch from your cobra that we just did here. If you're like totally digging all the stretches, you are in for a treat for Flexibility Fusion next week. I tell ya. Alright, and a personal favorite, last but not least, as I finish up our little bit of discussion, we'll get into a glute stretch. You can stay seated, crossing your ankle over the opposite knee. Keep it up nice and tall. Or if the neutral spine doesn't feel good here, this isn't comfortable, come onto your back, relax there, and just pull the knees in towards you or grabbing from the back of the hamstring. But like I said today, a bit of a different pace, some different intensities of exercises. Hopefully there were some that were a little bit more challenging that you can come back to keep note of those. And I would encourage you to check back in on some of these exercises at a later date, see how they feel. If you continue kind of working with the different progressions that we were presenting today, if they get more comfortable, more controlled, you get to go ahead and switch sides here. And yeah, if you have questions, let us know. If you want more today, 4 o'clock, cardio intervals, HIIT class, that's going to be fantastic. So super happy that you joined us today. We are in some incredibly trying times right now as a Canadian Armed Forces community and support community, and the biggest thing I think, or a thing that is always so important, is that community, that coming together. So even though we're all apart and in our distant homes, maybe working out on our own, we're still able to participate in things together and have that community awareness. So hold on to that. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be around, like I said, for the next 15 minutes. Questions, comments, let us know. We'll see you again soon.